it all centers around meeting women. And as I found, as an adolescent, it was much easier to try to be funny to meet a girl as opposed to actually walk up and sincerely ask them how they were doing. Would you like to go on a date? It was much easier to try to be funny and then, win people over that way. I think that's at the core. Even though being funny in front of girls, then you turn into the funny guy who's not necessarily the mysterious, attractive guy. So it actually works against you too. I wrote an essay in the 4th grade that I was going to be a professional soccer player and comedian in the off season. So I don't know why in the off season then I'd be a comedian. I think it's always really flattering when you hear about bands or music artists who think something that you do is so funny, because for some reason they're connected in the rhythm of the way things are done, and there's a real kind of science to comedy that you can't. I don't think you can explain it, but you can feel it when it's right or wrong. The same way with music. I was a member of the prestigious Columbia House of Records and Tapes, and I got through Columbia House the Saturday Night Live cast album. So I listened to that over and over and over again. So, which is weird to listen to sketches on a record. I remember a lot of the Chevy Chase stuff. I just remember I didn't know why it was so funny, but even though I didn't know what it meant, but when he would say, General Francisco Franco is still dead, and the audience would just laugh, and I'd be in my room. Oh, that's great. And I'm like, who is this guy? It doesn't matter. It just sounds funny. And when I work with Adam McKay, that's when I crack up the most, because if I can hear him snickering by the monitor, then that gets me going, and then I start to lose it. But usually that was one of the things on Saturday Night Live that I never broke. So that was, it was I was pretty good about committing, and it literally took 5 years or so to not be afraid to step out, on that stage. But once you got finally over the fear of doing that show, then the game for me became to surprise my fellow cast members. From the time we did something on Dress to the time we did it on air, I would try to add something different. It becomes a little bit of a blood sport. Once you get someone giggling, you want to you keep kind of pouring on the intensity to get them to, I don't know, it becomes this game where I loved kind of trying to incapacitate people by making them laugh. This will be the last season where someone can do Bush. I have thought, it'd be fun to do a final little swan song with him. I'm working on a great Lynn Chaney, but I'm going to keep that for me. I'm not going to share that. That's only for parlor games. That would be a great name of a one-woman show, Lynn Chaney. She's fascinating. I could paint one half of my face Dick Cheney and the other half Lynn, and I would just do profile, from profile to profile. I love a ship's whistle. The sound of a jet engine. Too travel related. I love the sound of a child not laughing but crying. Yeah, I love it. We have 3 dogs, but when that sound of when a dog is finally relaxing and going to sleep, and they go and get settled in their little bed. I love the sound of my electric car. Well, they kind of do a little kind of like this small buzz you hear in this room. I thought I could drive it down to Orange County and back. It has this little turtle that flashes, which means it's coming to a crawl, I guess. And unless turtles are lethargic, and the car's becoming lethargic like a turtle. Anyway, when you see the turtle, it's not a good sign. And I was driving along, and it's like 11 at night, and I saw signs on the 5 freeway for a charging station. So I pulled over into a mall and charged my car for 2 hours while I slept. And I'm like trying to prepare myself for when the mall security guy comes over. Is like, hey, are you Will Ferrell? Yes. What are you doing hanging out alone? And I'm just, so it was like, will I get arrested for looking like some weirdo here? So, and I had enough of a charge to get back home.